What's up, ladies and gents? This is the K Omega Gamer channel, and I'm the Omega One himself, the K Omega Gamer. And today we're going to be playing a game called R.U.S.E. It's a World War II strategy game, and right now I'm in the sandbox. There is a campaign mode, but I like the sandbox, so I'm going to play in the sandbox. You can choose from different maps, and you can choose free-for-all, or you can choose teams. And there's 3 different eras and a bunch of different time limits you can choose from, but I'm going to go with the 1945 era, a one-on-one free-for-all on a medium map with 60 minutes, and I very seriously doubt it'll take 60 minutes, but that's the full amount of time you can go for, so that's the full amount of time that we're going to go for. I don't know how popular this game is. I saw it at GameStop one day and was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try this out. And I've been hooked on it ever since. It's a pretty good little game. And it's in real time, so you go to the production menu and you've got all kinds of things like supply depots. Very important, these supply depots. And then you have the ruses. You've got one which upgrades your speed by 50%. This one has your units fight to the death. This one forces enemy units to flee faster. But we're going to go for blitz in this sector. And as you can see, as I zoom out, there are different sectors for which you use your ruses in. And there are also different kinds of bases. I do believe I'm going to turn it up a little bit because it's important to hear what they're saying. They'll tell you what the enemy is doing. But you've got a prototype base, which is your end-all be-all, essentially. Airfield, anti-tank, armor, artillery, and anti-air, and then the barracks. They've already pushed units out. That's disturbing. Building deployment complete. So I'm going to build an armor base, and I'm going to meet them probably right around here in front of this supply depot right here. Sir, enemy is closing in this sector. Building deployment complete. And I'm going to research the Sherman, because I'm willing to bet that they just pushed the very first things they got out. So I'm not really worried about as to whether or not how powerful their units are. I doubt they're very powerful at all. And I'm just going to wait for those Shermans. Now, they might start attacking the supply depot, but once I push those tanks out, it's not going to matter. I'm going to back them off, and I'll regain this supply depot. Yep. And see, with this little itty-bitty victory over this supply depot, they'll get cocky. They'll think, oh, well, we're just going to push in here and take him over at the very beginning of everything. But little do they know. Research is complete. Unit production in progress. Alright, so I'm going to send these Shermans at these guys. then I'm going to send some more this way. Yeah, see, they just pushed the very first things they could out. So, they're using the most basic tanks that they can right now, so I'm not really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run them away from my bases. And I will have to rebuild these supply depots, unfortunately. But now I'm going to send these 4 units in and flank them from this way. And these 4 units in this way. And see, now they have no choice but to back off because they weren't ready for the military advance. Yes, now I'm backing their units off, and there's not a whole lot they can do about it. And I will use fanaticism, so they fight to the death, so they don't back off. And now I'm going to destroy their very first 2 bases. Oh, what are they building over here? What is this? That looks... Anti-tank base, and they're sending it my way. Well, in that case, I need to build... I don't have enough for that. Let's see. Build a barracks. And now I'm going to send my units in and hopefully try to take as many of these as I can. Alright, so I went ahead and took out their units, so now I'm going to send in the cavalry. See how close in I can get, at least keep them back there for a minute. And they have built an airfield now, so... I am just waiting for yet another ruse. Alright, so fanaticism. We are losing, probably going to lose all of these tanks, but I'm just trying to get rid of their base, and I couldn't, so. But they're all the way back there now, and that's a good thing. And now it's more so about defending the home base, because they will be on their way shortly. I'm kind of glad there still is one out here. Just kind of keeps them back a little bit, you know.
Sir, enemy is blitzing in this sector. Reporting. Unit under sustained fire. Recruitment has started, sir.
Just get a couple of M16s. They're anti-air. They're not the best, but in this situation, with them just having a couple planes, it'll do, and they're not moving, so they should be able to fire no problem. Let's see, let's go to tanks.
A new route is at our disposal. Reporting. Supply depot nearly out. What's the objective? Just point the way.
And we're going to drop a whole bunch of airbornes.
Yes, sir. Starting unit production. What's the objective? Just point the way.
We're going to drop a whole bunch, because ground troops can take over bases. So we're going to try to take over their bases.
Sir, intelligence have identified just point the way. Unit production in progress. Reporting. Supply depot nearly out. Need some firepower, sir?
And we're going to send in as many as we possibly can.
Need some firepower, sir? Rookies are training. They'll be ready soon. Engines running. What are you running?
And hopefully they don't see our little maneuver coming.
Engines running. What are you running? Sir, enemy is blitzing in this sector. Reporting. Unit under sustained fire.
Well, they have the kind of planes that can shoot mine out of the sky, so hopefully they can drop the guys.
Damage, sir.
Yeah, okay, my guys are being dropped in now.
Sir, enemy is blitzing in this sector. Unit under fire. Reporting enemy losses. Receiving report. R.U.S.E under fire. Sir, enemy is blitzing in this sector. Unit reports damage, sir. You heard the man. Receiving report. Enemy spotted.
Alright, so I have effectively captured all of their bases. They have no bases now.
Unit reports damage, sir. They're retreating, sir. Sir, reporting loss.
So, pretty much the units that they have out now are all the units that they're going to have. So I have cut them off completely.
Reporting the case heavy losses, sir.
So I'm going to...
Losses in this sector. You now have risk capacity. We've almost emptied that depot, sir. Receiving report. Our units are under fire.
going to collect that money faster, so that way I can build a bunch of tanks and send them.
Supply depot levels are low.
Because a lot of them are probably going to die.
Supply depot complete.
And yes, they are destroying these bases and getting points for doing it, but it's their bases. If it were a bigger map, then I would use other tactics and I would have a more dominant victory than the one that I've got now. But since it's a small map and it doesn't take as long and the money's not really there as much, I just went ahead and used the ground troop method. And it's the fastest way on a map like this if you want to take somebody out, especially when the enemy doesn't take the time to put in the research. And their units, they don't have much longer to be on this planet.
Sir, Blitzing is no longer popular in this sector. You now have risk attack.
And now I'll throw a fanaticism on top of a blitz. So now we don't have any retreaters. This is really a fun game. You can play it online, but because it wasn't very popular and because it's a PS3 game, there aren't many people, if any, playing this online. So that's the unfortunate side to this. But it's a fun game. I've just played it a lot, and I'm really good at strategy type games. So I just put it on medium for demonstration purposes. I can play it on harder than that, and I'm used to playing with 3 AIs instead of just 1 to just make it a little spicier. But I will come out with more one-off videos like this of R.U.S.E, where I'll be playing up against 3 AIs, and there'll be a lot more action. This is more so for demonstration purposes, just to get you guys used to the game. But I will be coming out with more videos of R.U.S.E, because it is a really fun game to play, and a lot goes on when there's a bigger map and more AIs. I was just demonstrating, and to be honest, when you know what you're doing and you play these strategy games like this all the time, you kind of get a knack for what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to defeat these enemies. And, like, for instance, they had no research upgrades pretty much, so all it took was for me less troops and more research. And catching the enemy off guard. But this was a quick run through. There'll be better videos on this coming out soon. I just wanted to demonstrate to you guys the layout of the game a little bit, get you familiar with it, because I'm sure most of you probably haven't heard of this game. And I will be uploading videos of other games too later on, after I put out part 2 of the Resident Evil 4 playthrough here in the next coming day or 2. Is there any? Nope. Total victory. Alright guys, don't forget to leave me a like and a subscribe if you liked what you saw. If you didn't, there's always the dislike button. And don't be afraid to leave a comment down in the comment section below. If there's a game that you want to play, or if there's a game you want to watch me play, excuse me, or if there's something you want to see me do in a game that I've already played, or if there's a certain war scenario that you want to see in this game, don't be scared to use that comment section. This is the KO Mega Gamer. Good night and goodbye. Bang.